Okay, welcome back to another explainer. Today, we are diving headfirst into the Vellathooval Mystery, and let me tell you, this one is a wild ride. We're unpacking a chilling sequence of events out in a secluded Kerala rubber estate, where what starts as a classic run-of-the-mill haunting quickly spirals into a massive, dark cover-up. It's a crazy story, so let's just get right into it.
So, a routine ghost hunt instantly pivots into a high-stakes murder mystery, and it happens the exact moment the team, Joji, Dasapan, and Supru, initiate a midnight lock-in. A male spirit comes through, but he doesn't just ask for help. The message was explicitly clear. He said, "This wasn't a suicide. We were murdered. We need justice. Bring him to us." Right? Literally, with those chilling words, the entire trajectory of this investigation completely changed.
Now, you might be wondering how they actually captured that message. Well, the investigators relied on some highly specialized tools. First, the EMF meter. This detects anomalies in electromagnetic fields, and during this lock-in, it was absolutely blaring red, a huge signal of an unnatural energy spike. Then, they use a spirit box to sweep radio frequencies, essentially translating that raw energy into distinct voices. It was through this exact tech that the victims first cried out for justice.
Imagine pouring your entire life savings into your absolute dream home, only to step into a total nightmare. It happens way more often than you'd think, with properties that have these hidden, dark histories. Ravi and Kavitha moved their family into this Vellathooval rubber estate, but within just a week, the haunting escalated. It went from, missing items and sudden shadows darting across the walls to absolute horror when their eldest daughter literally found a spectral girl hanging from an upstairs ceiling fan.
From there, the pieces really started to fall into place. Joji did some digging through local news archives and found this forgotten tragedy from exactly 5 years ago. An eloped couple, Ananthan and Badra, were actually found hanging in that very house. So a week ago, Ravi's family moves in, right? And they disturb this dormant energy. Then last night, the trapped spirits violently signaled for attention. Look at the staggering gap here between the official record and the reality. The police had hastily concluded this was just a suicide over financial struggles, and they closed the case with suspicious speed. It's a terrifying reminder, honestly, of how easily the truth gets buried when deep pockets and local influence are in play. The spirits weren't actually lashing out to hurt the new family. They were desperately crying out for someone, anyone, to reopen their case. Realizing the killer had to have left physical evidence behind somewhere, Joji trusted his gut. He investigated this dark, overgrown corner of the backyard. Beneath a massive, ancient mango tree, the soil just looked disturbed. They dug down just half a foot and unearthed the secret that had been buried for 5 years. It was a rusted, locked iron box. And inside, perfectly preserved, were old photographs of the murdered couple. And crucially, a faded red diary wrapped tight in plastic. Inside that plastic cover, the faded red diary held a final, absolutely terrifying entry from Badra. She wrote, "My father's thugs will find us. Bhaskaran is coming. They won't leave us alive. If we die tomorrow, it will never be a suicide." I mean, wow. This diary didn't just confirm the impending murder. It dropped a massive bombshell on the clients, Ravi and Kavitha, who were standing right there as Joji read the name aloud. The name Bhaskaran completely drained the color from Kavitha's face. Get this, Bhaskaran was Kavitha's distant, incredibly wealthy relative. He was the guy who so graciously helped them find the house, negotiated with the broker, and even loaned them the extra cash to buy it. Joji connects the dots immediately. Bhaskaran wasn't being generous, not at all. He intentionally planted his own relatives in that house to act as unwitting guards. By putting family there, he made sure no strangers would ever dig up the backyard. It's a chilling psychological insight, isn't it? The ultimate camouflage for a monster is playing the savior. Okay, but they couldn't just take this diary to the corrupt local police. Bhaskaran's wealth would just bury it all over again. They needed an ironclad confession. So Joji formulates this brilliant psychological trap. Step 1, Ravi calls Bhaskaran in an absolute panic. Step 2, he lies, claiming he dug up an iron box overflowing with ancient gold coins and needs help selling it. Step 3, while Bhaskaran is rushing over, totally blinded by greed, Dasapan rigs the living room with hidden night vision cameras and highly sensitive microphones. As dusk falls, the trap springs. Bhaskaran arrives at the isolated house in his black Jeep, totally expecting millions in gold and obviously the chance to permanently destroy his buried evidence. He demands to see the box, But instead of gold, Ravi sits down, his whole demeanor changes, and he throws the damning red diary onto the table right in front of him. You can imagine the realization hitting Bhaskaran like a freight train. The gold was a lie, and his darkest secret is sitting right there.
Faced with his own ruin, Bhaskaran's panic instantly turns to murderous rage. He pulls a sharp knife from his pocket, threatening to kill Ravi and his family right then and there to silence them forever. But the moment that knife comes out, the supernatural entities take complete control. Boom! The heavy front doors slam shut with the force of a thunderclap. Every single window in the house violently locks itself. The investigators, who are watching all of this from monitors upstairs, see the trap perfectly close. The hunter just became the prey.
Then, the physical environment of the house violently reacts. The lights blow out entirely, plunging Bhaskaran into total pitch darkness. The temperature in the hall drops to this freezing, unnatural cold that literally roots him to the spot. Just imagine the sheer terror of standing in that pitch-black hall, only to hear the slow, heavy sound of dragging footsteps descending the wooden staircase. Illuminating the darkness with just his phone's flashlight, Bhaskaran looks up at the stairs and freezes. Ananthan and Bhadra physically manifest before him, and they appear exactly as they died 5 years ago. Thick, spectral nooses around their necks, deep, bleeding wounds on their throats. They glide down the stairs, bringing this unbearable, freezing wind. Bhadra's spirit moves with terrifying speed, appearing right behind Bhaskaran, and her icy, invisible fingers clamp down instantly around his throat. Gasping for air, totally crushed by this supernatural grip, Bhaskaran breaks. He screams out a full, desperate confession, which is of course perfectly captured by the team's hidden microphones. He actually admits to slaughtering them for the money they eloped with. He even explains he kept the diary hidden rather than just destroying it so he could frame Bhadra's father if the police ever got close. It was a real masterclass in deception, ultimately undone by his own insatiable greed and the relentless pursuit of the very souls he destroyed. With the ultimate evidence fully secured on both video and audio, the spirits release him and vanish into the light. Their purpose was finally fulfilled. Joji immediately calls the police, and when presented with the undeniable hidden recordings, the rusted box, and the diary, the authorities arrest Bhaskaran on the spot, dragging him away in total disgrace. The 5-year-old case is officially solved, the house is completely cleared of all supernatural presence, and Ravi's family can finally live in peace knowing they are perfectly safe. As our investigators pack up their gear and drive away through that misty estate, we're really left to ponder a core theme of this explainer. What is truly more terrifying? Is it the ghosts of the dead desperately seeking justice, or is it the relentless, murderous greed of the living? It's a pretty chilling reminder that sometimes the real monsters don't hide in the shadows at all. They masquerade as trusted friends. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into the Vellathooval Mystery, and always remember to keep questioning what lies beneath the surface.